Do you want to hear how one death killed a listing agent's business? It is absolutely true. And stick around to the end of this video because I want to give you a tool that you can use to diagnose your listing pipeline called the Listing Pipeline Blueprint. And I want to make sure that you use this tool to improve your own pipeline. But this guy's death killed this listing agent's business. And I have to tell you, I mean, it's the honest to God's truth. A couple days ago, I was talking to a listing agent in Boston and was just killing it. He was making a ton of money because he had one listing source. And that listing source, which is basically they were spoon feeding him listings for years and years, was somebody he knew at a college. And so he was doing a great business with just having these listings spoon fed to him. He didn't have to do any work, didn't have to do any advertising. You know, it's like what they say, it's people you know, right? Well, what happened is this guy who was working at the college, given this listing agent all these listings, died. And it's so tragic, but he died. And what did that mean from this listing agent who's thinking about joining the Listing Collective? He basically just, his business dried up. He had nothing. He was doing nothing to advertise. He was doing nothing to be visible in the community. He wasn't exercising or practicing his marketing skills. One of the reasons we're talking. And so he basically was just dead in the water, no pun intended. So he's sort of like, after, I don't even know, he's been in the business for over 10 years. He's sort of starting all over. And that's what I'm going to help him with. But this is a glaring example of why having one listing source, one listing stream really is not good. When I was an auditor at PricewaterhouseCoopers back in the day, my God, back in 1933, we basically had businesses that we would audit. And if all their revenue was from one source, we would call that a concentration of risk. And we would have to disclose it to the shareholders of that company, because if that one revenue source dries up, that company is screwed, just like this guy in Boston. So it is really important that you have at least 3 streams of income, 3 streams of listings. Most real estate agents, 90% of the listing agents I talk to, number one, don't have a plan. And that is really a bad thing. They just sort of willy-nilly, they take listings as it sort of like drop in their lap. If they have family or friends, they know that they're in real estate. They don't really do a lot of marketing. They don't have a plan in place. And that's what's really unfortunate for, 90% of the real estate agents, because, when you don't have a plan in place, when you don't have a listing pipeline, you don't really have a business. You have a, what do you want to call it? A hobby, really, because you don't have a predictable business. And that is why this is really dangerous. If you're just waiting for the universe to bring you listings, or you have just one source of listings, that's your Aunt Edna that's been feeding you listings from the last few years, you need to take your business more seriously, because at the drop of a hat, all of that business can go away, especially if Aunt Edna dies. So that is why it's so dangerous to have this. So what you really want to do is you want to have 3 types of listing streams. This is really, really important. If you have 3 types of listing streams, then your listing business will be predictable, because you're consistently putting listings into your pipeline. You're consistently putting listings on the market. And your business can be a lot more predictable, because if you track your numbers, you'll know how many people you have to talk to get a listing. And so that is really the key. So I'm talking to real serious listing agents. If you're a serious listing agent and you want to make a ton of money, guaranteed, all right, this is what I do in the Listing Collective, my coaching program. I guarantee your results. So if you're interested to hear more about that, hit me up and let's get on a phone call. But the bottom line is you want to have 3 types of listings. 3 types of listing streams, I should say. 1, you want to have your sphere of influence. Not only are you calling that sphere of influence and reminding people that you're in real estate, but you also want to build your sphere of influence by reaching out to professionals who work with high net worth individuals, who work with people who own high-end real estate, so you can build your sphere of influence, build your CRM with people that can give you high-end listings. And now a lot of people will call their SOI, but most listing agents aren't building their SOI. So working with those people that you know and building that list, that's definitely one type of stream that you really want to have. Secondly, a second type of stream is direct prospecting. You need to be doing something every day, Monday through Friday, every single morning. I love probates, number one, as most people know that have been watching my videos, but calling out of area owners, working divorces. Some people love doing expired calls. Some people like working with FSBOs. Believe it or not, I think I've got a guy down in Southern California that's killing it with door knocking. Who likes door knocking? But the bottom line is your second type of stream should be some kind of direct prospecting. All right. So, and get really good at it. I mean, that's what I love doing in the Listing Collective, is really holding people's hands and helping them really master different streams of listings so they have that predictable business. Finally, you want to have some kind of a third type that is going to keep you visible. I am a huge proponent of doing YouTube channels. When you have a YouTube channel, you accomplish so many things. There are so many great points to make about having a YouTube channel. And I know people are rolling their eyes saying, oh, Chris, I don't want to get in front of a camera. I'm tired of doing my hair and my makeup. You know, I don't look good today, so I can't go on camera. You know, you got to get over yourself. Bottom line, just get over yourself. You know, I've done videos getting out of the pool. I do videos on my 8K walk, sweating like a pig. I don't care. People want great content. And in your particular case, having a YouTube channel that doesn't cost any money, and if you can get in front of a camera, even for a short 3-minute video once a week, it breaks or cuts that trust recession where sellers don't know you. You know, sellers want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. But if they don't know you, they're not going to trust you. And one of the best ways to do this is get a YouTube channel and do videos about your community. What's selling? What's not? Is staging important? What's the new restaurant in your town? You know, what are the market stats in your town? Did you see a new listing that you love that's maybe not even your listing, somebody else's listing that you could tour? There's just so many different things that you can talk about. I mean, the supply is endless. You know, what has sold? Are there new regulations and things affecting new developments in your town? New restaurants, coffee houses, you know, new plays coming in. You want to be considered the expert, okay, in your town. And here's the deal. If you, in a very short time, if you just do one video a week, you'd have 52 videos in a year that would be discussing real estate and everything else that's happening in your community that you work. And you could be sending that channel to sellers before you meet with them. You will look like the expert. You will look like the authority, the real estate authority in your town. What is not cool about that? This is something that's really important. So if you're working, number one, with people that you know, number two, doing direct prospecting of some type that you would like to do, and number three, get a YouTube channel. Use social media. I always say social media has never really been good to get listings, to have direct listings come to me, but social media, especially YouTube channels, is a great way for sellers to get to know you, cut that trust recession, and you just go in with a leg up when you go to those listing presentations. And did I mention it's free? So I really love doing the YouTube channel. But seriously though, if you are not prospecting, if you don't have a listing pipeline and you're not running your business in a predictable way, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. If you're a real estate agent that really wants to kill it as a listing agent and you're willing to put the work in and you're willing to use my micro momentum marketing strategy, which makes that work super easy, guess what? You need to talk to me, jump on a call with me, because I can show you how we can 2x, 5x, 10x your listing business today using the Triple M approach, the micro momentum marketing approach. If you want the listing pipeline blueprint, which is a cool document, it's a cool diagnosis tool that I developed that will really diagnose your current listing pipeline, and give it a score and show you what you need to be doing differently to improve it, and then literally specifically talk to you about how you can improve that listing pipeline. Hit the link down below or put pipeline in the comments below and I'll send that to you for free. Super cool tool. But regardless, if you're motivated, you're hardworking, and you want to make a ton of money as a listing agent, guaranteed, make sure you hit me up and let's jump on a phone call. Otherwise, make sure you have a predictable working listing pipeline.